So, man, you finally came to the decision. You ready to move out. You ready to take that big step, that big leap, man, that big jump of faith and bravery. And you finally just, man, I'm over it. I'm ready to get out of my parents' house and I want to be independent. I can't take it anymore. My mental, everything. So you just ready to take that big leap. But you may be wondering and you may be a little bit confused because I get this all the time. What is the perfect amount for me to move out at? And how much should I really get saved up, or how much do I need saved up to really start making those steps in that big leap? That's why in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the most realistic amount of money that maybe you guys should probably be looking to have. Now, disclaimer, there's no actual set price. Everybody lives in a different state. Everybody has different means. You know what I'm saying? Some people's high is some people's low, and some people low is some people's high. But I think I can help you because I just moved out not too long ago, 6 months ago, when I was 21 years old, as you guys can see on the thumbnail, and I've been making it, dog. I've been making it work, and I have not looked back. So, and I'm a younger adult male in the community. So I feel like I can kind of push you guys in the right direction. So what's good, YouTube? Y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Reese in the Cut. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm a 21-year-old content creator who does financial advice, motivational content, and educational videos just like these. Now our goal is to hit 30,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So if you guys want to contribute to that, smash that subscribe button, man. And further ado, let's hop straight into it, man, because I know y'all ready, man. Trust me, I can feel how y'all feel. I remember when I first was thinking, I even had the mindset like, man, it's time to move out. Because after a while, it gets to that time. You know what I'm saying? Your parents, they nagging on you. They might even start charging you too. You know what I'm saying? So you like, man, I might as well move out from getting charged. You know what I'm saying? But also learn how to be grateful. But let's go ahead, let's get straight into it. So the first step, right? The first thing that you need to realize before moving out, and this is what's going to help you to realize how much that you need saved up. So this is what I did. I'm going to go off of my experiences, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I moved out at 20 years old, you know? So the first step that I did was I took my money, the money that I had saved up, or actually this is before that I saved up my money. I chunked my money into different things. So this is what you want to do. Take your money and you need to section it off into different things, right? So what do I mean by this? When you want to get an apartment, a lot of you are moving into an apartment. A lot of you probably aren't going to be moving into a crib. So we're going to base this video off of simply how much that you should probably be looking to get or save for an apartment, right? Because this is probably a lot of you guys' first times. You're fresh, you're new, cool. So you're gonna need to section and chunk some stuff off. So basically, the first thing that you need to be sectioning off, right, with the money that you have saved off, is simply the first month's rent and the security deposit. Okay. Now, everybody's is different. Everybody's security deposit is gonna be different. Everybody first month of rent is gonna be different. Like I said, it all depends on where you live at. Now, for example, this is how much I had to pay for my security deposit, $348. You know what I'm saying? I remember it like it was yesterday. You know, it was my first time. So, right, me personally, I had $2,000 chunked off for my rent and security deposit. Now my rent, first month of rent, I paid $1,100. So, bam, got that out the way, right? So make sure you guys section that off because everybody has to pay it. The security deposit is absolutely mandatory. Some apartments do the first month rent free. So it all depends on where, you know what I'm saying, you got to take that up with your apartment complex. I can't say too much about that, but always have it ready just in case your apartment may not go for that. All right. So have that first off, section off, right? Next up, second off, what you want to have section off is your furniture, your utilities, your groceries, and your Wi-Fi stuff, right? So you know what I'm saying? You want to have a budget. Have a budget for what you want to buy. Trust me. This is what you do not want to do. Do not do this. I've seen this is the number one way, because the whole goal is when you want to move out, and this is what's going to help you to be able to figure out how much you need saved up. The whole goal when you move out is to see what you have left over after the move. The whole security fund, it's basically your emergency fund, right? Whatever you have left, that is your emergency fund money. So yeah, like I said, you want to have a set budget. Never just take your whole entire stash and just start going to buy things. Always have everything sectioned off and chunked off, and have a budget for each and everything. You know what I'm saying? Besides maybe your security deposit and your first month of rent, that's you really can't do nothing about that. But your furniture, your groceries, your utilities, and like everything, like your knickknacks, your posters, whatever you want to put in your crib, tables, you need to have a budget. And you need to have a set budget. Do not go over that budget. If you do, just maybe a small little bit, right? You need to have a set budget. Because if you take your loan, let's say you got $10,000 saved up, right? And you just take that whole 10,000 and you're just pulling off of the security deposit, the everything, you know what I'm saying? And you just pulling, you're not gonna know what you're gonna have left over. The goal is to try to map out to see how much you're gonna have left over. Okay? So the third thing, what you need to section off, is simply the last part. That's just simply your emergency fund money. Simple as that, bro. So after you got your first month and security deposit taken care of, you got everything inside the apartment taken care of, your furniture, groceries, utilities, Wi-Fi, everything you need. Now that is the perfect time to see what you got left, and that's your emergency fund money. And emergency fund is absolutely mandatory. If you're not thinking about having emergency fund money, I think you might want to stay with, excuse me, y'all might want to stay with your parents. All right, I'm sorry. A lot of people on social media, they be telling you, I get it. I be seeing a lot of videos on social media where a lot of people be like, man, don't even worry about having money saved up. Just take your little paycheck and just go and just move off faith. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, but y'all, if y'all want to live comfortably when you're not feeling like you're working paycheck to paycheck, and you're not feeling like if you lose a job that you're gonna have to move right back in, because it's statistically proven that most people, when they first move out after the first 6 months, they end up moving back in because they realize that they weren't ready. This video is to prepare you to be ready to be independent. You're now independent. You now have more responsibilities. And this is the first step to responsibility. Literally sectioning off everything. It's going to show that you have discipline, responsibility, and that you are very organized, right? This is just you being organized. Simple as that. And this is already showing. If you can do these 3 steps, if you can section off these 3 things, you're already showing that you're ready to be in an adult world. Simply, I see a lot of people my age or even growner, they lack to even do that. Just to even put a budget on different things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just simple as that, right? So next up, I recommend the 3 times rule, right? When you have your money saved up, I recommend the 3 times rule, okay? Basically, what the 3 times rule is, you basically want to have, when it's all said and done, when you got your emergency fund, when you got your emergency money, after you didn't got everything, try to aim for anywhere 3 to 6 times your rent, right? For example, if your rent is $1,000, you want to have anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000 as emergency fund money, just in case your car breaks down, because this happens. You're going to face a lot of trials and tribulations in the adult world. Just in case your car breaks down, you lose a job, or you're on the verge of losing a job, or anything, right? The goal is we want to live comfortably. We don't want to feel like we're in the hole. We don't want to feel like we're living paycheck to paycheck. And you don't want to have to feel like you have to go back to your parents' house. Just imagine how that would feel. You lose your job and you have to go back to your parents' house. That is a double L. Okay? So that's why I recommend the 3 times rule. Okay? At least have 3 to 6 times amount of your rent. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Another example. If your rent is $2,000, you at least want to have $6,000 to $12,000 extra saved up. Well, I would hope your rent wouldn't be $2,000 unless you're in Cali or something, or New York. But anywhere in the Midwest, I live in the Midwest, so I'm not paying anything over, I want to say, $1,200. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, and that's simply just, you know what I'm saying, your emergency fund money, just in case things go left. You know what I'm saying? So this gives you a realistic amount to save than any other like TikTok video or anybody just yapping their mouth, because at the end of the day, there's no set price. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing you have to remember is, if you can't afford living with your parents, you feel what I'm saying, before the move, you're not going to be able to afford living by yourself, right? Remember, there's no set amount that you need to move out. Right, I've been seeing a lot of people saying, if you don't have 50,000, don't move out your mom's house. If you don't have 25,000, don't move out your mom's house. There's no set price. It's all about your means, how much your rent is. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Now, also a lot of you have commented and asked, how much did you move out? Now, I'm gonna take a little bit of time to share some of my trials and tribulations, and what did it cost for me, and how much did I have left over myself. Now, me personally, my rent is $1,100 a month. Okay, I moved out with $20,000. Okay, I set aside $2,000 for my first month of rent and utilities. I set aside $10,000 for everything I want in my apartment, from my furniture to my TV, my stand, my new bed, my table, knickknacks, the whole 9 yards. Did I spend the whole $10,000? No. I think I probably spent anywhere from about $6,000 to $7,000 on all the stuff in here. You feel what I'm saying? And then for groceries and this and that, I think I set aside like probably $500 to $1,000. So after my move, I spent in the process probably about $8,000 in the process to move in, and it left me with $12,000 left over. Now, I was pretty happy with that, because at the end of the day, my rent is $1,100. That's 11 months worth of my rent. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't have to worry about losing the job. If my car goes bad, I can do stuff about it. And mind you, I moved out a month and a half before my birthday, and I knew I was going to Miami, so I was still able to go to Miami, still have a good time. Came back, still went on a trip. You know what I'm saying? Still had a little bit of fun for the summer, and that's the whole goal. So you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you guys don't have to have $20,000 saved up. That's just what I felt comfortable with, right? And I spent, like I said, I spent like $8,000 in the whole process. You know, could I have budgeted more? Absolutely. But, you know what I'm saying, I know, like, you know, I've always wanted nice things in my life. So, you know, why not? I still had 12 G's left over. I was happy. Like I said, that's 11 months still worth of rent if something was to go bad. So, not too bad for a 20-year-old, right? So, man, not to really make this video too long, you know what I'm saying? I just think that's my best advice on if you're ready to get out there, dog. The whole concept is literally, it's all about being organized, being disciplined, and having responsibility, and simply just having an emergency fund of 3 to 6 times your rent. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, the whole outcome of this video of how much you should have saved is simply just about on how much your rent is going to be. Simple as that. Just 3 times or 6 times whatever your rent is going to be. And you know what I'm saying? Plan and plan and plan. There's no set number. Simple as that. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Hey, if you're one of those people, man, if you're about to move out your house, Put it in the comment section. I want to see who's on their journey. If you guys are on your journey, let me know. If you're on the verge of moving out, I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear about how much you guys saved up, how much you guys want to have saved up. Please, I'm not gonna lie, this type of stuff, it definitely interests me because when I was moving out, I was like, damn, do I have enough? Or when I was moving, I also was moving like, yeah, I got more than enough. Like, I want to see what you guys think is the best thing to move out with. You know what I'm saying? For your situation, not for everybody, but for your situation. So yeah, let me know down in the comment section. Talk to me, man. So I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Y'all know I love this. Y'all know I'll be back with more content. Hey, ski.